Oh, dog, they just get slapped.
Yeah, I guess you could be
Yeah, yeah.
Bennett seems like he could hang, to be honest.
Dude, Bennett's a G, bro. He knows about some stuff, dude. Like, if
Yes,
you seen what
I
he
did.
sent me,
I
like
did, yeah.
you'd be impressed.
Dude, like, so he's an old retired G, man.
Yep,
Nice.
yep.
He's gonna work in that
Can't
moon landing, I think.
I
Maybe.
can't wait. No, he's not. I can't wait till Kosho retires, bro. He's gonna be a flat earther in like no time.
You think? You think it's holding him up
Yeah,
now? Is like his what
yeah,
dedication to?
dude. As soon as he retires from the CIA or whatever, I'm just messing with you, Kosho. but
Yeah, you're good.
but yeah, as soon as he retires, he'll definitely come around.
Kosho's super young, dude. He's got a long way to retire.
Nah, dude, he'll be retired in a couple years. All the overtime he's putting in, dog.
I'll send you something about the message here in a minute. I'll send you
Kosho, you get a timestamp in a relation to a satellite in an orbit that they claim is actually happening.
Right.
Right. So they give you data
That's the Keplerian coordinates
in the other frame, but that's so it can reference. That doesn't mean it was derived from the thing we're talking about, which is the basis for the whole argument, right?
Oh. Well, no, it's not. Okay, so it's the Keplerian coordinates are first turned into XYZ coordinates, and then it's transformed onto the ECI frame. It's an important step, but so I mean, what you're talking about is not untrue. It does go from ECI to ECEF, but the message has to be received first, and it's got to convert the actual coordinates it has into the ECI frame. Your receiver will do that.
Did you have like a corroborative paper citation that you could for your counterpoint to Alan's other one? Because I don't.
So I'll show you the actual the
written message comes. Just like a paper references that's the order of operations that refutes Alan's previous paper of the other order of operations.
I mean, his order of operations wouldn't be incorrect. It's just there's steps before that. Is what I'm saying. So I'm going to show you the actual message that comes and what part of the message refers to the position of the craft and what coordinate system its position is referencing.
What's your guys' favorite coordinate system?
The one that fucking matters. The one that only matters.
I like the Narnian coordinate system.
Right? The magical land of coordinate system transforms where data has no meaning and scale is only covariant.
As long as it appears to be covariant. But yeah, that's what's up, man.
That's the whole point, though, guys. Right? Is that with coordinate system transforms, you literally can take measurements and move it back and forth seamlessly to coordinate systems, spherical, cylindrical, mechanical. It doesn't matter. Back and forth, and all the way that goes, no data is lost. Right? That's the point of a covariant transformation. That's the significance of coordinate system transforms, and that's the damage Einstein did by removing that prime lab frame of all non-motion with all motion is measured and saying that it's actually irrelevant and everything's equal.
Some reference frames are better than other reference frames. Like, we have to make the relative motion reference frames go to the back of the bus.
Should start a movement that like only theta prime reference frame matters.
Theta
prime lives matter only. Or something.
Theta prime reference frames matter.
You have to throw in lives or it won't sell t-shirts. People don't care about things that aren't lives.
My coordinate system's alive or whatever. That's dope, though, that we figured out that it all just came down to coordinate system transformations and the speed of light changes. Like, who would have thought that it was that easy, right?
What I thought was dope was that when you were figuring out the significance for what you're looking into, and how I instantly was like, oh, that's how they do sky coordinate system transforms when they map like the celestial sphere, and then they backwards conform it to like the cylindrical transformation back to the Cartesian coordinate systems from whence it came, and they take these measurements and put them on a sphere. And they're actually from an actual point with cylindrical height, and then they just seamlessly coordinate system transform that data back and forth to get the celestial sphere, and they say that it's spherical. It's beautiful.
Oh, you talking about your boy, the celestial sphere transformation from the 2D rectangular planar coordinate system that was used to derive the celestial sphere model for the globe of a diameter or with a circumference of 3959 or whatever the fuck.
Oh, exactly that transformation coordinate. Well, that's exactly that.
Yeah. That's the one they use. I got it right here. 1 second.
So this coordinate system transform is one of the mathematical tricks that has confounded society and most of history, right? Like if you figure it out and you unwrap it, it's a big nothing. It's a big nothing that keeps repeating, and people hold it so dear. Like, no, it means something. It's so important. It's in that reference frame. It's no. Turns out you can make the same measurements in any frame. Doesn't matter. It only matters where you can make measurements and where it came from.
Hey, Almanac lads, where'd you get those correction angles at? Oh, not from a 2D fucking planar coordinate system, that's for sure.
Yep. The significance is rampant. Like, so all this stuff that we keep talking about is all connected. And that's why the importance of the geocentric position. That's why people like Bennett are foundational, even though he may not agree with the actual shape. Like he's with us on 98% of our positions and all the ones that matter. And the etheric understanding and framework of interpretation of the relative motion is exactly the only correct framework you can have for looking at all the data.
Dude. And you know what? We might get that 2% sooner than we think. He's been watching a lot of Witsit streams on the weekends, boys.
He does seem all up on Witsit now. Which is great. That's fantastic. Dude, I can't believe that In the Field has been as wildly successful as it has been thus far, to be honest. Had some bomb PhDs come off of the first 4 episodes, making it awesome.
Dude, all Roberts, by the way.
This is an interesting quirk. I bet the next one will be a Robert 2 now.
I mean, I'm specifically only reaching out to guest name Robert. So that, like at this point, we kind of have to continue it.
I remember when Witsit thought about it, like, wouldn't it be cool if I could only talk to research, published PhDs about this stuff instead of nonsense globers who just repeat the same regurgitated nonsense and circle back? And we were like, yeah, loftily, but we'll never have that. And look, now Robert Bennett wants to come hang out with us and talk to us on Discord about all the things that we agree on. So, hey. Applying the transformations. I love that slide. I love the slide because the next slide is like, what the fuck did I just read?
Oh, yeah. Did I just read?
That's how I know that slide.
And you've seen a lot of presentations, though.
Dude, I've seen all of them. All of them so many times, dude. My whole education is from you. I haven't done any work, but I know so much, dude, because of you.
Dude, that's what's up.
Right? Dude, honestly, it's a good sign of a presentation. I haven't done any research, guys, at all. I've only listened to Alan repeatedly. I think you've given me like a full course of understanding. At least a coursework.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what's this? Hold on, guys. What did I just find? Is this the 1776 declaration to make all map coordinates use the same latitude longitude system for a planar, or I'm sorry, for a spherical coordinate system derived by the Royal Society? Hold on, let's see if this is it.
Nice.
All right, and then on chapter 2 here, sorry, on the next page, we have the bounty reward for angle corrections so that 2 people can circumnavigate Great Britain at the same time and still be in alignment with their new coordinate system that they're putting forward. So very cool. So like, you know how they're like, oh, you know how they say, oh, you're sailing on a globe if you're celestial navigating and all that. Well, it turns out the coordinate system is what you would call, Shane, what's that word where it's backwards compatible with the lab frame?
What's that word? Covariant.
Covariant, dude. So
the covariant transformation backwards compatible with the lab frame.
So it turns out, so you know how FED's been saying for years that Polaris correction angles, blah, 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 right? So it turns out that this coordinate system that they were matching to the globe was derived from Polaris correction angles. So there's a backwards compatibility with what you would call planar correction angles to Polaris. As you get further away from it, it gets lower in the sky. So like they came up with a system so that two observers within their coordinate system can circumnavigate and be fine.
So you're saying that they backwards engineered a known optical phenomenon of something receding in your horizon the further away you go. Now they say that that phenomenon actually doesn't exist. People like Walter Bislin put it in their model that say, Witsit, how does the azimuthal grid of vision know its latitude? Understanding nothing about how they derived that observation relationship with the Polaris dipping on the horizon with distance, how that actually backwards engineered the globe model. Isn't that super interesting too?
Yeah, 100%. So like another thing to note here is like there was like a tier of difficulties for things that they could get people to match their coordinate system with. And the highest reward was having two observers complete that circumnavigation trip. And I bet you somebody got that bounty, dude. So they were sending out mathematicians out on these voyages to to come up with the system so that they could make correction angles and stuff and give it to people so that they could do globular sailing without having to do spherical trig and all that kind of crazy shit that comes along with it, so that they could just get it to match up, with 2D maps and all that kind of shit. So like it's literally you would never know the difference at this point if they did want to, draw an arbitrary circle around, a location and, kind of derive everything based off of that, because the only thing that would really matter would be appearances in the northern hemisphere where it's all derived. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody circumnavigates based on uh, southern pole star correction angles, right? They don't even have one, right?
No,
It's like a
there's no measurement,
non-existent thing, and then the other thing is an optical convergence point relative to the observer. So like they don't even have a southern. Yeah, so they don't even have an actual pole star to navigate in the south. So it's like it literally all depends on optics in the north, So that's what we would call a GG, I think.
That's the importance of the coordinate system transforms. Again, like when people start looking into flat Earth, these are all the hangups that people don't have direct answers for. Like, what about how GPS and boats and this? And okay, well, actually, all those have very good answers, and they lean very hard towards proving what we've been saying in the first place.
Yep. So another thing, so it's like, what were they saying the other day? That the time zone argument was wrong.
What, like Man of Stone?
No, Matthew Learns was saying that.
Oh.
So how they corrected the coordinate system in the south to make it fit that, to make it all be the same, as adjusting those time zones. Because obviously the sun's still going to move at 15 degrees per hour. So they just moved everything to areas of the ocean where there's nothing. And they're like, oh, arbitrary time zone based on government. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but the sun still moves at 15 degrees per hour. So if you're going to match your arbitrary coordinate system, it's going to look all messed up and chopped up because of how you have to adjust. Because of how you have to adjust it. So that's not falsified at all. That argument's solid AF, and it's actually even more solid because it's proportional to the exact amount that would be required to fake a globe. Right? It's not arbitrary.
They definitely did the math to figure out. They mapped out the whole world on a spherical coordinate system and then laid the infrastructure for the actual machine language to work in that, right? So everything is converted. That's why when Kosho was so in no, but they know that the position is on the sphere. It's like, no, I believe that's in there, but that's because all of the data has that as a framework. But the whole point we're trying to point out is that that's not where they get the measurements. That itself is a transformation that, as Alan pointed out, is unnecessary to any aspect of the data, except that they want to put everything in a spherical framework. That's the coordinate system that they match the stars to. That's how they do the ECR frame. That's how they do spherical excess. That's how they hide the measurements of flatness within spherical excess. They do it within the margin of error in the correction system to the latitude, longitude measurements of the spherical coordinate system in which they've already measured, right? So it's their trick all the time, and they use it consistently. But once you see it, it kind of makes more than one wall fall.
So I'm about to post the document I was talking about. It has all the data in there, and I'm going to show you directly. It doesn't have the ECI data. It instead has its orbital positional data. So, I mean, there's that. But, of course, that's also using circular coordinates. That's just transformed into a spherical coordinate, right? So, but I'll post it in a second.
Right. So,
Anyway,
all right.
yeah, the mathematical wonderfulness of coordinate system transforms. I feel like you could do
Yeah.
like a Disney ad with it and just like, look how awesome. If you want to hide your sphericity, this is how you do it.
When I realized we were arguing over coordinate system transformations and fractions of an arc second for like the spherical excess, like my mind was blown. Like
Yeah.
well played. Like that's divide and conquer to the ultimate extreme. Like think about that, Shane. So what what is it? The spherical excess, right? Half of it is sub 180. And then the other two measurements are 180.00 what?
Yeah.
Like
It turns out, dude,
what,
like over any
like, what
reasonable distances, they measure flatness. They have to go over great distances where they say that they measure prescribed non-flatness, but again, only at the degree where the degree, like the length of the measurement, you could hide the correction for sphericity inside a linear measurement at that degree, right? So only when it gets big enough to hide it in do they suddenly detect it.
dude, that's crazy, man.
Can't detect it when I can't hide it and fudge it in the margin. But as soon as the margins get big enough where I can fuck around, oh, there's my spherical excess. That's exactly how it works. And as Witsit pointed out, dude, all of like, it's all planar surveying, and then they get geodetic surveying, which is just, we're going to correct it to this prescribed coordinate system, and any measurement that doesn't equal the 80% threshold of sphericity that we've determined, we're going to go ahead and throw out off the bat, because that would lead to a sphere of much too big of a radius. So they don't even fuck with those measurements, they just throw those right out. And then they're left with a whole host of form fitting, matching the predetermined threshold of 80% before they even get to geodesic. And then you back to the spherical excess argument of hiding the margin of correction in the errors because they're doing measurements so big where they can hide it in the translation. Because again, the power of coordinate system transforms.
So what's everyone's favorite transformation equation now that we're all transformed up?
I feel like other people could talk. What you guys doing?
What happened to Jay Ace? Thought he was the scientific expert.
He's not really into astronomy though. Well, he's into astronomy, but I know he tends not to talk on things he's not like, researched in.
That was a fun
I don't want to talk for him though.
Well, except for surveying. Seems to know a lot about that.
I like the stellarium transform. That's pretty nice.
Kosho knows a lot about it too, remember? All your spherical excess, Kosho, that you measured?
Yeah.
Did you measure some excess, bro?
So what?
So did you measure some excess?
I didn't measure excess, no.
Did you get excess?
We were talking about the triangles earlier and the margin of error. It took me a real long time to convince these people that when you have an angular error, it doesn't increase with distance, but that was a headache 2 headaches ago.
Well, it can if you have conditions that would, if you're talking big distances, then yeah, you're going to get other distortions.
Well, I brought up the stars when Rakia had mentioned something like that, and he wanted to end the conversation there, but stars are pretty far, or at least farther than most things on the ground.
That's a lie.
But yeah,
you can't even begin to know what distortions are in between you and the nearest star. You just claim to.
No, I just know that the angular measurement, though, that we measure with stuff that's high elevation, it's not the error is completely minuscule. If it's above like 40 degrees, anything below that is going to be subject to refraction. But those stars are much farther than, say, I don't know, the sites that they were measuring on, the parallel measurement thing.
You're measuring to the star light, you mean, not the star, right, Kosho? The light that you can see.
Yeah, I find it funny, Rocky, that he's equivocating using the stars that are high above you, not close to the horizon, because that's where distortion comes in, to making measurements on the horizon over long distances with the spherical excess.
Oh, no.
That's why I dropped out of the conversation. Take me to the moon, baby.
These measurements were all made from elevations. They made sure that they had towers, and they made sure this places they were sighting was actually on top of the towers that they built at those stations.
Right,
It
at
was
the
extended above
horizon.
Well,
Partway
no, it
to the
wasn't on
moon.
the horizon. It wasn't on the horizon. That's my point. It was.
So they
well
went
above the
100
horizon.
miles to measure the top of a mountain 100 miles away that wasn't on the horizon?
Yeah, like I said, they were measurements that were taken on towers where the thing that they were targeting was like on a pole above it.
So could they make accurate azimuthal measurements to the stars that would be just beyond those points? Would that be good for navigation if they're up that high? Could
I
they
mean,
get?
yeah, they were like the left to right refraction. I'm sure above 5-10 degrees. I mean, I don't imagine it would be anything more than the arc second that they already allow for error.
Oh, so if you're really high up on a mountain, then you can get accuracies down to the horizon, is what you're saying?
Oh well, no, you're just not gonna you're not gonna expect any sort of crazy sort of refractive effects that would do something like that. That seems like impossible almost. Just not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you go up that high and you make those measurements to the horizon, you could get 69 nautical miles per degree all the way down to that horizon if we went up high enough. It would
No,
follow that formula.
I'm not saying anything about down to the horizon. First of all,
Well,
I'm just
that's where
saying
the
that
lights are when we're measuring towards the mountaintops, right? So we could shoot stars just beyond those lights because you're saying there's no refractive effects. So those
no, I said
stars
there's no
just
left. I said
beyond
there's
those
no
mountains.
left to right error. Is what I said. The error for the stars is the same as with almost everything else, which is vertical.
Yeah, either way. So you're saying that there is no refractive things taking place at that height. If you're up that high, then you can look out towards that distance and there's no refractive effects taking place.
Again, to be clear, which I didn't say that, I said left to right errors. Left to right errors. To be clear, the errors are vertical, and on the horizon, yeah, they're like maybe half a degree.
So there's
Expected.
no left to right errors in the stars?
Yeah, there wouldn't be anything more than an arc second, which is the amount of error that they've already claimed they were going to have. So it's not something that's ever measured. So the fact that it could come up, it's not going to be over an arc second. Like that, we're talking about something that doesn't happen. And plus, we're also not talking about stars anyway. We're talking about things that were on the in the atmosphere.
Oh, I thought we were talking about
Miles
stars,
away.
but then we're not talking about stars, but then we're talking about stars.
Yeah, stars would be the most extreme case, and even in the most extreme case, it's something we wouldn't expect. So, in a case that we're actually like to bring it back to the actual subject, it's definitely not happening. Yeah.
Well,
So then why did you bring up the stars? Like Rekia said,
to give you the most extreme case, of people bringing up how you're going to have these errors because distances. Well, this is a great distance. You don't get those errors. So at closer distances, you wouldn't expect them at all.
You know what my new favorite topic is now? Just Earth's orbital velocity, all shapes and forms of historicity of measurements, if we have them. Arguments why we don't have them. Speculation on why we don't have them. Yeah, is a good topic.
Oh, dude, the Glober tap dance is on point when you bring up the measurements of Earth's orbital velocity or movement.
With the things that
measurements or lack thereof.
Yep, the things that they'll have to like ad lib to say to lean on are just like the most ridiculous explanation of optical phenomena. Like here, who has a measurement of Earth's orbital velocity? Right, it's a huge velocity. We have so many instruments sensitive enough to measure it. Should be detectable super easily. Who's measured it? Anyone?
Nobody. It's just a diversion. They'll divert back to the sidereal motion that's measured. Claim that that's Earth's
I thought we wrapped that up.
Rotation on its axis, and they'll avoid the orbital at all costs.
We said that earlier. Ares measured
it. Wait, unpack that. Airy?
Yeah, Ares failure. He measured the stellar aberration. The aberration, there you can simply pull out the. In order to measure or in order to predict the angle, you need Earth's velocity. So if you use algebra, just rearrange it, you can determine Earth's velocity by measuring the stellar aberration. And so if you take the angular measurement that he or anybody else gets, you can easily pull out the same value that you would expect it to be if we're orbiting at the distance we are. So it comports with all the other claimed ways to measure it. Post that in a second, too. Hold on.
You're saying that isn't that the you're saying that for the optical measurement of less than an arcsecond, you're backwards contriving that algebraically to derive Earth's orbital velocity as a known?
More or less, yeah. Except for it's not less than an arcsecond. I think it's like, or maybe is it less than an arcsecond? It's like 0.22. Is that the 0.22 arcseconds?
It goes up to quite a few arcseconds, but you could ratio it against the sun though, and like say the same thing though. There's a book called "The Church Was Wrong and Galileo Was Right" or something like that, written by Robert Sungenis and Robert Bennett. Bennett wrote the math or the part for the what's it called, stellar. What are you talking about? Stellar aberration.
Aberration.
So yeah, so like it would be if you plotted it, if you ratioed it against the sun, you could make the same assumption like with a stationary Earth. It wouldn't matter. And then for stellar parallax, the angles are the exact same for a geocentric Earth. So there's no distinction to be made from those.
I'd like to see that because
yeah, you should pull up tomorrow, bro. Because we're gonna go over this stuff in depth.
Talking to me.
Yeah, you're good. Pull up.
No,
for you.
No, but yeah. But I'd like to see that. I'll take a look at it. Like I said, I'll watch Witzett's thing with him. But you said he wrote a book with Robert or Sugenis or whatever.
Yep, I'll link you the book and the page. At that exact page, you can read the explanation he gives for it.
Yeah, that's one of the only that's the only mainstream Glober script that you can say where they said actually we've backwards contrived this optical measurement to we're going to say that we've measured Earth's orbital velocity. But that's just to hide the fact that the super sensitive interferometers that they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to measure all sorts of things have never picked up even a whiff of it, even though its magnitude would be tremendously more than the rotational speed that they claim it measures today. So that's the whole point.
So there's a couple of coincidences then, because if you take Kepler's laws, right, the third law describes the relationship between the orbital, period, which is the time it takes to orbit, and the what do you call it, the semi-major axis.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Semi-major axis. Oh, was that Kosho that had to go AFK?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you dropped out, I think.
Oh, okay.
Kosho, you dropped out. Maybe he's muted and talking. Doesn't know he's muted. Oh no, he's not muted. He's unmuted. Yeah, he just dropped out.
I just thought I heard a female in the background, so probably calling him. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody was yelling at him in the background. So
I'll bet.
There's usually that female quietly yelling at him whenever he speaks.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were talking about?
Hey, I'm not like that.
That one time. And,
good burn though.
Poor Kosho.
Hey, good to see you, Alan and Shane. I hope all is well. And I've just been enthralled listening, so you guys are not ever dominating. It's nice to listen to you both.
Oh, hey, Sydney. What's up?
Hello. Just hanging out with the guy you made my husband, I guess. You're the matchmaker. But
what? I did?
We credit you. We credit you and God, of course, but yeah. About to
Can
eat
we
some
talk
soup.
to him? What up, Ed?
He's on a work call for another couple minutes, but
Can we talk to him?
We'll both be listening over soup in a minute.
She'll let him out in like a minute. He's not ready.
Yeah. Oh, there. I didn't know he was on the. He's in too, or whatever on the.
Because he was literally saying like 5 hours ago, man, I wish Shane would get on here. And we were just listening to your presentation from the other day, Alan. It was very good. Well done. And I was like, what are the odds? Look at this.
Alan's presentations are dope.
Dude, I got one coming up on the 8th or whatever. December 8th.
I feel like Phil
True
Kami
Summit.
should. Oh, nice. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was in the middle of my plug, but like, go
Yeah,
ahead,
it's a challenge. Sorry, dude.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, Alan, I was reading that 1774 paperwork that you sent in there. Do you run the inflation calculator? You see how much they were paying those seafarers to help them out with their calculations?
Oh no, how much is it now?
It was 5,000 pounds in 1774. That's basically 900,000, and then they were offering 7,500 and 10,000 pounds. So basically $1 million, 1.5, and 2 million for the calculations.
Dang. Yeah, they hooked him up, man.
Dude, do your plug for the summit thing. I didn't mean
oh, right. No, I got sidetracked, bro. So December 8th, there will be the the Mount Meru Summit Season 2 will be going on. And if you sign up under the promo code that corresponds with my sign up or with my name, when you sign up, I get half of the cover charge. So make sure you do that, or sign up under Witset's name so that he gets half of the money too.
Cool. Nice. I will share.
Or any of
Ed.
the other creators that are on there that you like.
I think Phil Kami could benefit from your most recent E=mc² presentation, but I think that you called it squared up and it just like threw him off. So now he has no idea, and he's in the chat doing all sorts of stuff about E=mc².
Wait, who's that? Who's E equals?
Phil YouTube Kami. He's whatever variant of Phil Kami.
Oh hell yeah! Who's that?
A Glober, a decent Glober.
Nice.
He tries to bring thought-provoking responses and criticism.
Oh yeah. It's my favorite kind of Glober or whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
Nice. Dude, you know who's been crushing it in the Friendly Globe department? That Eric guy.
Which Eric guy? Oh, the guy who was. I keep forgetting he's not a flat earther. He hangs around us so much.
Dude,
I forgot that he was your friend. That was like that we tried to he was trepidatious, and now I think we welcomed him. Or
bro, he's mad chill, and he PMs me like gravy every day. He tracks down papers and stuff. That's like what we're talking about. And he's like, I haven't read this, but it's got all the stuff in it that it looks like he just drops gravy to me like every day. It's awesome.
He's super. I definitely forget he's a Glober. Is he really a Glober? Has he ever argued the Globe position in any way strongly to you?
I don't know. I've only seen him on McToon's chat that day we did the debate.
So he's like a hang around Glober. He doesn't actually hold any Globe beliefs himself. He just hangs firm on the beliefs of others and the tenets of their laws and wrestling it. I would think.
I don't know. To be honest, I've never really talked to him about what he thinks the Globe is. I know he's a Glober though, and he likes the blue marble guy.
Nah, he's gonna be one of us. He hangs around too much to be. He never even disagrees with anything. He just supports.
Yeah, dude. He was the one that wanted me to ask about that vector thing.
He's always adding good contributions.
Dude, yeah, and then Bennett was like, "Oh yeah, you just divide time by speed or by c, and it's like, well, that gives me the distance. Like, what do I do with that? Like, that doesn't mean a goddamn thing." It's like, whoa. It's like, you mean they're just inventing blank slate coordinate systems? Because, dude, how crazy is that? That was my initial gut reaction, like, as like coming into like flat Earth and all that. Like when you're early into it, and you're like. And like someone hits you with like, well, how would you explain Einstein and all this shit? You're like, well, I don't know, man, but like it sounds kind of like maybe there's like, there's something weird going on with the math, and then maybe it's just doesn't mean what they think it does or something. Like you don't really know how to articulate it. Like that's like your gut reaction. And they're like, nah, you're just too fucking dumb to understand the brilliance of the crazy haired man that reshaped reality and redefined physics over one experiment.
The Earth mover. When the Earth wasn't moving, the guy who mathematically made it move
Yeah, so it's like okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe whatever, and then it's like you look into it and it's just like here's these list of experiments we say that prove Einstein, and then you read them and it's like half of them the experimenters themselves are like, yeah, so under these conditions, man, like we really can't make heads or tails of this shit. Good luck, boys. Maybe somebody else will figure it out. It's like, what? This is your defining proof that gravitational fields exist and interact with light in the way you say it does? It's like, I don't know, maybe. Don't look into it, bro.
So when you say look into it, you're talking about watching YouTube videos, right?
No, I'm talking about reading papers, dog.
No, reading
doing sciences and like learning, getting learned up.
There's papers on flat Earth. Please direct me to those.
Oh, this dude doesn't seem like he's going to be worthy of engaging.
Yeah,
I can already tell.
I already set his volume to 0 and forgot.
Why do you guys always avoid a question? Where can I go to look at those papers?
It's called selective engagement. Right?
I'm totally willing to believe in flat Earth if you could show me where to research it at. What college do I need to go to research flat Earth? What sciences do I need to go to research flat Earth?
Bro, you are
what library? Tell me what library to go and where to look up flat Earth.
I wouldn't
drink
stop
some
at the
water,
bar
bro.
on the way. Yeah, first step, not stop at the bar. on
Check
your
that
way
out.
to
No
the
answer
route.
from any of you. No answers.
Oh yeah. You're gonna run away. You would believe in flat Earth, really?
Other than YouTube, where do you want me to research flat Earth at?
Scroll through the
Real fast, just so
You
the
can
room
find
knows.
papers.
Just so the room knows. You just gotta take it as entertainment value, dude. All right, you can't like take the bait. And also, just so you know, this guy got super triggered during one of my buddy, chill. This dude got super triggered. This dude got super triggered during one of my live streams and spent like $300 in super chats in like $10 increments.
Dude, I low key recognize.
What's your point?
It's like, where do I?
And what's your point?
Here, but from where?
Your point?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your
dude.
point?
Shout out to you. He let the money go through. He didn't charge it back.
We put his name 700 times.
That's what's up. That's what's up, dude.
Yeah, no, but it's funny that people say that because Alan is like the example of, you obviously have no idea what you're talking about because he didn't just go watch videos. He had to read the papers and he put together his own videos, which we now reference. We now reference that like has the actual source material with always the references and the nice GitHub source that we just threw out with the WinZip document with every PDF archive for your disposal for you to actually go read and come to different results, or probably more accurately you'll come to the same results that everyone else has that reads it and does the experiment and end up where we are. Or you can just make dumb comments about YouTube and not know anything, I guess.
Yeah, just so Tim knows, I temporarily muted you, Tim, because this was really good discussion in here, and just coming in and like saying, oh yeah, I'll believe in flat Earth because of YouTube videos, and that kind of like lowbrow 2015 type comment isn't going to be really well received. Probably run off the people that are actually entertaining us all right now with like a little bit more of a highbrow understanding of these things that they actually researched by reading the papers and the original sources from Einstein and figuring out the bullshit and the reverse engineering of it all and the dynamics being ignored for the kinematic supplementation that it means nothing really in the long run. And so if you don't understand any of that and you just want to talk about like believing in flat Earth, maybe another talk would be better for you right now. Please just don't do that here right now.
Well, I mean, yeah. Did he have like a question or something actually on topic?
Maybe. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to unmute him.
All right.
If it's just trolling, it's going to be useless. We don't want that.
Go ahead with your question. Go ahead with your question.
How's asking a question trolling?
Go ahead and ask your question now. Just let's reset.
Where do I go to research flat Earth other than YouTube? That's what I asked. What college, what university do I go to research flat Earth other than YouTube?
There's a good book called King's Dethroned. You can start there.
What library can I find that at?
Lots of.
Yeah,
what's 2023, bro? Who goes to libraries?
You said lots of them. You didn't explain which one.
Do you not know how to go about researching topics? Do you need our advice on how to research things?
We've already lost.
We've already lost, guys.
You guys already engaged. Like, GG.
I know. I mean, you could have just. It was a simple response back, which is like, bro, who goes to libraries now?
And none of you could give me an answer. So,
Well, I thought maybe he had a question that was actually on topic to one of the many topics we were discussing, but he was just randomly talking about how to research things. That's sort of not really.
Well, because you guys always say research your own shit, I asked how do I research my own shit. You guys can't answer.
Yeah, we're having a great topic, dude. What did we discuss? Let's do like a recap. We did like what reference frames, coordinate system, transforms, significance of GPS with the preferred direction always of C plus V. The significance we speculated on what's the significance of the ECI frame? Is it because they translate and make the stars and the Earth equal in motion? Is it because that gets rid of the mystical C plus V, or is it because Kosho suspects they need different relative positions to know where they are? What else did we talk about? Oh, how Aether is like the only possible interpretive framework for all the higher level interferometry measurements that we've taken for all the corroborative 5,200,000 that Dayton Miller put forth, and all the super base Russian guys that Bennett was talking about that we're probably going to ask about tomorrow.
And you always have to utilize the intrinsically stationary lab frame as the base reference for all the tests.
Right? That it always comes back to the one that matters.
Yeah, well, you guys watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Now there's a specific correlation with the preferred direction, the altitude, and the change of the equinoxes with the actual propagation rate of the light, giving you variance and interference patterns.
And how once they learned that the higher you go, the better accurate the measurement was, in an effort to scaffold it, they decided to do the measurements deep underground, which people like Peyton S. Shield justify by murmuring about vibrations.
Because they're vampires and scared of the sun. And then Einstein himself actually said that if the actual results of Dayton Miller are verified, then theory of relativity would collapse like a house of cards, and he had no explanation for it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's been a great chat.
Nice, that was a pretty good recap.
So where can I go to research this?
Dude, I don't even know the library.
We didn't know that was.
Evolution of Physics, Einstein and Enfield, 1938.
Dude, but Al and I were talking. I gave him one listen. He asked one question, and then I heard him speak again, and I was like, oh, nah. No. Nope.
And everything you just said, that just shows you believe in flat Earth, right?
Hey, none of the people that you just referenced, they don't believe in your spinning, rotating space sticks, do they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bro, yeah, someone got litty, he's like, I want to hang out with the flat earthers.
I made one of them AI things that's like, I'd like to make fun of the flat earthers, but really I find what they say interesting, and I find the conversation stimulating, and it's the only time I find entertainment.
Why didn't they teach me this in college?
If I ever have a couple drinks, I'm like, yo, let me go kick it with the flat earthers.
I like to get hammered and talk to Glovers and be like, hey guys.
Oh, you're weird.
What's up with that globe? Or whatever, like I like
lazily flat smacking at the bar, dude. That's flat.
I actually answered his question. I linked him Corbett. Corbett discusses his all of his processes to go through any research that he's ever done. So he wants to know how to research. I taught him how to research as well. So.
Dude, how to research is a good skill. I think Alan even put a video out on it after so many people like leaving comments on his stuff. Like, how do you like put this stuff together? And he's pretty much like, I don't know, read it. Here's a couple programs. Here's how you can highlight. Here's how you can archive it. Here's how you can find PDFs. Like, he just put together a whole bunch of stuff. But most people don't, I guess, have those skills. So I think you linked it a while back. But some good.
So how many times are you guys going to mute me?
More.
I didn't.
Well, according to you guys, being censored means I'm telling the truth. So if you censor me, I'm telling the truth, which means you guys
right now we're going to mute you right now.
That's what you guys say.
Whatever figure y'all come up with, too. I want the over.
Hey, I'm using your own argument against you. You said if they censor us.
This known, I actually vote for him being like the stand-in for the Glober. I think it's hilarious. You know, like just like utilize it.
He sounds like an exaggerated caricature that a flat earther would do to make fun of a glober.
If everyone keeps that in mind, you can get some golden clips right now.
Maybe we can ask him his favorite empirical measurement of Earth's motion in orbit around the sun.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Tim, you're on. What's the best measurement you have that the Earth is actually orbiting around the sun?
That's fine.
You're breaking up.
Bob Nodell, about a gyroscope, and measured Earth's rotation. Thanks, Bob.
Gyroscopes
Hold on. Well, that's why you guys don't do experiments anymore, because you always prove the Earth is a globe. Thanks,
right,
Bob.
Gyroscopes measure the Earth's orbit.
Oh, Jesus. That's not what I said.
That's what we asked.
That's what we asked.
No, it measures the Earth rotation.
Well, that's what you
answered. Okay, well, we're talking about the Earth's
question.
orbit.
Yeah, I specifically said the
Earth's rotation.
No, I specifically said the orbit of the alleged Earth around the sun.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
So which measurement is your favorite?
Yeah.
Which
I didn't know
measurement?
Jesus Christ made orbit measurements.
So which
when they taught you this in
measurement
college,
is your
what did they say?
For
A flat earther measured Earth's rotation with the gyroscope. Thanks, Bob.
Not talking rotation.
Hey man, hey, let me rephrase the question for you. Is there any evidence that the Earth actually orbits around the sun?
Yeah, pictures from space.
wait. How does the picture from space measure the Earth orbiting the sun?
Or show it.
Oh, those are all CGI, but none of you approved their CGI, right?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey, how do pictures measure?
Hold on. Here's a better question.
No, wait, the
Why don't
question's
you
on the
guys-
table. Hold on. No, we're going to do one thing at a time.
What's
His
the
question
picture
was-
of the Earth orbiting the sun?
Yeah, that was your evidence for the Earth
Yeah.
orbiting the sun. So you have to now, that's your next point. You have to now respond how that's evidence of the Earth orbiting the sun. Pictures from space, you
You're
said.
going against 8 billion people. Why don't we got to confirm my evidence? You need to prove to 8
Hey,
billion people.
can I ask you a question,
No,
man?
you need to prove
Maybe I'm
to 8 billion
confused.
people. Hold on.
All right,
you need-
hold on. Well, then I guess you lose that point. But you can't just talk over everyone. We're going to go one point at a time. So, okay, I guess you're not going to respond with
Yeah, I was
anything.
gonna say I'm kind of confused. Maybe he can help me. Right? Like, can you measure motion with pictures?
Tim, you've got background noise, and then that's your turn. Go ahead. If you don't want to be in the combo, you don't have to, but you got background noise. So
You guys didn't hear me, so being censored, according to you guys, proves I'm telling the truth.
because you have an open mic, and then you were talking over people. But it's go ahead.
Well,
how do
other
pictures?
people are talking over me.
Okay, go ahead. There's a lot of people in the room, so we're gonna have to moderate it. So you go ahead, and how does the pictures of the Earth show the Earth rotating? That was what he just asked you.
No, orbiting, not rotating.
Orbiting.
Orbiting around the sun? Well, we sent satellites to the sun.
So
Okay, how does that prove the Earth orbit? How would that prove the Earth orbits the sun?
Well,
that's for measurement.
how does it not?
We said who measured the Earth orbiting the sun,
it's your point.
Yeah,
We're
you have any-
and then you
we're
throw
asking you about your
gyroscopes.
point. Yeah, we're asking you about your point. Go ahead.
I just told you my point. What? Why do you
But that
think?
doesn't make any sense.
Why do you think I can make you guys disappear just by logging off? Why do you think 8 billion people don't agree with you? Why do you think all science and every field of science, every astronomer, every pilot, every sea captain disagrees with you? It's because you watch YouTube
Well, no,
videos.
actually,
you're
the
not smart.
ironic part about that is every scientist in the world knows that your comment about pictures from space measuring the Earth's orbit is incredibly ridiculous.
Yeah, name one.
Every single one that's ever breathed oxygen.
I said name one.
All of them.
Don't tell me every
Literally
single
all of
one.
them.
Name one. Name
Okay,
one scientist that
Albert
agrees
Einstein.
that the Earth is flat. No, hold on. Name one scientist that agrees that the Earth is flat.
Oh, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how when we asked you if there were measurements of the Earth orbiting the sun, and you brought up gyroscopes and then pictures. That's ridiculous.
And you didn't follow through on either of them. So
Well, maybe you should go ask the Globers what college that you need to go to or a library to find out the information about the Earth orbiting the sun.
Yeah, some good solid measurements
Dude,
from all
flat
the.
earthers
Yeah,
never went to college.
yeah
Lots of college graduates, in fact, master's people right here, flat earthers, totally.
right here.
There's no master's degree in flat earth or whatever.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
So instead of actually
There's an
backing
entire
up,
group of them.
yeah, instead of actually like responding to any of your points and actually putting anything
Yeah,
forward,
you can't respond to my point because all you have is fucking stupid.
That was great.
You're crushing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they always they always spiral, and
That
that's
is
just
kind of like
telling.
that is the best the globe has to offer, though. I feel In a room
Yeah,
full
last
of-
time I just started. It was when Kai and I were doing a stream, and he was sitting on super chats. Last time I just big broed him about his life. You know?
Oh, that's good. That was nice.
Yeah, so there's a couple avenues you can get some fruitful conversation.
That's good. Like how to get to the library.
Yeah.
Although now
Yeah,
that
but this is
think
what's
about
funny.
it-
Did you? I don't know if you guys saw the T-jump thing, right? But I was asking for evidence that the Earth orbits the sun, and he was just like reading off NASA missions. I'm like, what? If all of those were true, it wouldn't prove that the Earth orbits the sun according to your own belief. You know?
You're just reading from Wikipedia. That was so like fucking. That was the lamest thing I've ever seen. That dude.
So I think what
There's a
Kosho
dynamic
said-
and kinematic equivalence.
What Kosho said as his answer to Earth, the measurements of Earth's orbital velocity, is probably the best I've ever heard, and it is like the de facto mainstream refutation.
And that was.
Yeah, the difference between dynamics and kinematics is like kind of like the major theme these days.
You went Aries failure with the backwards
Yeah,
derivation
bro.
of Earth's orbital velocity.
I gotta say thanks
Oh
to the
yeah!
Donald
Wow!
Trump.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I put some water in a tube, and the light went straight as if nothing was moving, and that proves that the Earth is moving around the sun.
Alan referenced the good, I think, Robert C. Jenner's book that stomped all over that and said that there's actually an equivalent. I forget what the actual findings were.
Oh, that was from
Stellar
Stellar
Ab, but yeah.
Because reference frames?
Yeah, because that reference frame, yeah.
But yeah,
If
like
you're
that
in
is
a
the
reference
only
frame that's experiencing refraction, does the other observer experience more or less refraction? Like, does it get doubled, or like what are you guys thoughts on that?
I don't know, dude. Where did the sun
Reference
touch
frame
us?
refraction.
Bro, get on my reference frame and then I'll tell you.
Dude, I really am dropping the heliophobic merch pretty soon.
I already pre-ordered a
Gotta
hat,
check
bro.
it out. It's fun.
Hey, what's it? By the way, I just put a highlight from the last response I got from Michael Brenner. We've been in communication. I sent you the screenshots of our exchanges a while back, but you probably didn't see it yet. But I'm in contact with Michael Brenner, and he's going to come talk to us on the Ether channel. And
Tell him to come on in the field, man.
Yeah, I did. That's the other thing. You know, he's a fan of yours. He's a fan of yours. What's it?
You should sell that to him first, dude, and then we'll
Yeah.
There. Probably that seems like a better order of events.
For sure. Yeah, he's a fan of yours. I mentioned you to him, and he's like, "Yeah, which is great."
That'd be perfect. Yeah,
check your DMs, bro.
That.
Very cool. Very cool. He's cool. I'll check my DM. You mean on here?
No, in Discord.
Yeah.
The Discord DMs from me. I'll send you the latest update. Yeah, in here.
Okay. Well, do you mind using Telegram, my brother?
No, I could do that. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was not
I'll
on
try
there.
to remember. Yeah. But did you remember when you brought up the kinematic dynamic thing? In that debate, I was like, I kept bringing up the dynamic equivalence. He was like, that doesn't even make sense. You're so retarded. You think that dynamic equivalence means something.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, that was really.
That's kind of your
words.
superpower, to get people to say some dumb shit like that out loud.
He was so confident. That was great.
Because there has to be the right amount of agitation, anger, uncomfortableness, and just like a little bit of confidence that you shouldn't have to be able to say something like that on the internet.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving towards the like good faith interaction thing. Like, I even reached out to MDD. I'm like, yeah, for debates going forward, it'll only be like very specific people. You know?
Yeah,
I think
otherwise
that,
it'll
like,
just be recycled garbage anyway.
Yeah, like in the field is way more productive.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is, dude. I was just commenting earlier how astoundingly successful that has been. I remember when you were musing about it, like, oh, wouldn't it be great? And I was like, that's kind of lofty. But now you've had 4 like super stellar, progressively awesome presentations from awesome people who are credentialed in the field, offering far more than the ridiculous rhetoric that the Globers in here were offering. So yeah, astounding success for that.
Yeah, bro, I think it's going to get better.
The one thing about bringing Michael Brenner in the field, I mean, I got his email now, and I'm gonna email him about the details of setting up a talk with him. but I'm not sure yet that he wants to be identified in what he does or where he, like, all of the details that you would want to talk about in the field with him. Not that you have to, but, as far as like the title of the show would be kind of like, I'm in the field doing this, and I think he's kind of a little bit incognito on Cora as far as I can tell so far. That's all.
Okay, well, I mean, it's no big deal.
You could
Do
just
you
call him
guys,
Michael.
you guys remember that one guy that came out and he's like, "Yeah, we falsified dark matter with Sigma Phi confidence."
Yep. Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to come on in the field.
Ooh, that's a juicy.
That would be good. Yeah, every time you have one, I'm like,
I
you can't
don't
put that
need
in.
flat earthers. Yeah,
No.
like I specifically haven't had one flat earther on.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's somebody in the chat, another person in the chat that's a huge fan of yours. What's it? Actually, Aristoteles, I think. If he wants to open his mic, I think he's a big fan of yours. I think he was coming on the field.
I'm assuming that's the blocked message.
Probably.
He seems to be endlessly tagging you. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Wits, it's like thanks Napalm for letting me know that it's working.
Decision gratified.
Yeah, people haven't gotten past the point of just like that guy you were debating, just like, you're a stupid flurfer, you don't know anything. He's obviously confused because he doesn't know anything. Or you're a fool. Once again, these kind of like lowbrow comments. It's not even worth engaging with those guys at all, for sure.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not only is it not worth engaging with those guys, but go read the comments of the other Glovers. They're like, "Witsit got destroyed." I'm like, dude, this dude didn't even understand the sentence I said.
And
We're gonna say that no matter what, though.
T-Jump's video popped up in my recommended today, and I went and looked at the comments just to see like that's that very scenario, and it's crazy, bro. They literally they just need a hero, they just need a guy to get up there and tell you that you're fucking stupid, and like they feel like that's sufficient. Like they don't care. Yeah, like they're not there to like hear any arguments. They just want to see blood, dude.
Well, they're not even there for the truth. They're just there to be told that what they already believe is the truth, and they go, "Yeah."
Well, there's actually a dude that commented on my most recent video or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, what's it such a liar, blah, blah, blah." He's like spamming my comments. And he's like, just like in the last debate where he was deathly afraid of showing his paper. And then finally he had to admit that his own paper says the opposite of what he claimed it did. I'm like, where did you make this story up, like,
right?
Yeah, because the paper like literally says exactly what I said it does,
I mean, they could never say that with any specificity as to what you claimed and what the paper said that somehow refuted that you claimed that, or what you claimed.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, like, dude, what's really funny, bro, is someone else, I was in another Discord, and they were like, this paper's fake, doesn't exist. All of a sudden, I'm like, dude, you guys literally just, like, T-Jump's your hero. You're just repeating what he said, I guess. So I Googled it. I'm like, dude, I just Googled it, and the paper popped right up. Like, what is wrong with you people? So I go down, and then we start talking about another paper, and I think it's the gravimeter measurements with thunderstorm activity. And so I go look for the paper, and I go six sources down on the first Google results is McToon.net, Witsit citations. And I click on it, bro, and literally what he does is like he takes my citations and then finds where it says a sphere in it, and then he puts it up there and says Law 1 of Flurf. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god,
dude, he made that whole like backwards compare, like he made that like criteria for flurfism or whatever the hell.
It's just like with how you had to be really explicit about what logical fallacies are. Now you're gonna have to be really explicit about what a hostile witness is, which I guess you've already kind of started to do.
No, you don't even know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I need to add genetic fallacy. I need to just cover the genetic fallacy and a hostile witness and the all or nothing fallacy at the beginning. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of don't. I don't know, man. I feel like I shouldn't keep doing it. I mean, like on occasion, I'll do it literally just to try to teach like logic and be like, because it is kind of crazy in that sense, right? It's like, hey, look, here are some basic fallacies that you never want to use in any actual conversation that's intellectual. And then they proceed to use them all as if like a live teaching tool. You know, like here's an example.
You should do the live teaching logic, like real time logic. You should do that like as often as you can stomach it, but you shouldn't go too far.
Yeah.
That place is terrible, and I don't know how many T jumps you can handle, dude. Like that guy, he's like the worst, and he's not even like.
Oh, it's a waste of my
though.
time.
So
it's just a
bad.
complete waste of my time, bro. You like, there's so much other stuff I'm trying to do. Like, why would I do that? Like, it really doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah, I think
honest.
one thing I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, I think one thing with debates, if the other person can really stay on topic, then there is the chance of having something productive, because at least if you're on topic and you're able to actually go back and forth, and the other person doesn't employ a bunch of tactics or a bunch of fallacies or a bunch of subversive techniques, if they actually stay on topic, then there's always the chance that something could be productive, because now you're able to actually fully share your point. They are responding with